Hold on. We dealing with you. And you want to know what should happen to them? They should go to slavery the same way you should be going into slavery, man. Give me Isaiah. Well, bring your ass up here, man. Come on, take you. Bring your ass up here, man. No, let him be a slave. 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 Hold on. We dealing with you. And you want to know what should happen to them? They should go to slavery the same way you should be going into slavery, man. Give me Isaiah. Well, bring your ass up here, man. Come on, take you. Bring your ass up here, man. No, let him be a slave. 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 Let him be a slave.
Endure to the end. I really need the kingdom. Endure to the end. No, well, I can get it. Endure to the end. The Lord, no, I need him. Endure to the end. The Lord, I want to see him. Endure to the end. Endure to the end, yeah, yeah. Endure to the end. Endure to the end. Endure to the end. Endure to the end. We tryna get this win. I do not wanna sin. Saying you not my friend. I'm praying to the Lord. I'm hoping that He hear me. The most I innocent, the only that I'm fearing. Keep commandments and endure. He knocking, open up that door. Bible, what I'm gonna explore. Israel, He gon' restore. Get on what I'm looking for. Even what you looking for. You're not gon' read anymore. Endure to the end.
About the Bible.
You think I was born to some royal rich family?
What is your nationality? Are you a so-called white man?
No, my family were immigrants. We were poor. We did not have.
Where did you come from?
We came from Poland.
So you're definitely not going to make it.
We were getting
Right, you're definitely not going to make it, man.
We were getting slaughtered by the Nazis.
All praise to the Most High. Let's get the Most High hand, huh? Right, that's good, that's good. Come on, film your show. Film your show. Film your show live. Are you Jewish?
No, I'm Polish.
So you're Polish, so you're still not going to make it, right? Right, you tell me what good thing a Polish man has done for blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans?
The first president of Haiti, who was a black man, said that the Poles are the black people of Europe because they defended Haiti when no one...
Answer the question! I said you tell me what good thing? What is your nationality? Are you the color of your shirt?
Hold on.
Hold on. Are you the color of your shirt? See, that's the spirit. Most High speaking once, yea twice. Are you the color of your shirt? Yes or no? So how are you black when black is not a biblical nationality? So we want to show you your true nationality according to the Bible. And we'll show you your true nationality according to the Bible. Is that fair? Right, what do you say? What's your name, sister? Leah? See, that's the spirit. And what is your name? All right, well, let's continue with the words of the Lord. Give me Acts 17-26. Right, give us 5 verses, Leah. We'll show you who you are according to the Bible, all right? And we'll show you the most important thing that you have to do today. Read that.
This is the book of Acts chapter 17 and verse 26. It has made of...
Hold on. Wait, tell him to shh. You told him? Good. Michael, let her hear the words of the Lord, Michael. You gonna let her hear the words of the Lord?
Yeah. She's free to do what she wants.
Right, you damn right.
Standing here.
That's right. Read that.
Acts 17 and 26. And has made of one blood all nations of men.
One big nation.
All nations of men. For to dwell on all the face of the earth.
So God made of one blood all nations of men to dwell on the earth. Give me 2nd Ezra 6:54. Now, out of these different nations that you read about in the Bible, are you familiar with the Bible? Have you heard of the Canaanites? That's a nation, right? Have you heard of the Egyptians? That's a nation, right? So you have different nations in the Bible. The Cushites are a nation in the Bible. The Midianites are a nation in the Bible. What is your nation in the Bible? See that? You should know, sister. Right? Is your father a so-called... Where's the 12 tribes? Is your father a so-called Negro, so-called black man? So you would be an Israelite according to the Bible. That would be your nation. Give me Esther 10:9. Your nation would be of the nation of Israel, sister. Because Negro, colored, black girl, that back in black, that is not according to the Bible. You don't find a nation of people called black people. Right, listen to this, Esther 2:9. Read that. Addition to Esther 10:9. Right? So here's what the Lord said through the spirit and power of the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son Yahweh regarding your nationality, right? Addition to Esther 10 and 9.
This is the Esther chapter 10 and verse number 9. And my nation,
my what?
And my nation is this Israel.
So God said through the spirit of Esther that, or Esther said through the spirit of God, my nation is this what? What'd she say? My nation is what? Read it again.
And my nation,
Israel. My nation is this Israel. Right, Esther was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. Because you and Esther are the same people. I'm going to show y'all we're the same people. Because you're going through what Esther had to go through right now. I can't hear you, sister. No. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 46. Yeah, you live where she lived. You're going literally what Esther went through right now. Right? I'm going to show you something. Have you read the book of Esther? Have you heard of Haman? What nationality was Haman? He was a Macedonian. He was a so-called white man who had power over the so-called black woman. He was second in command over the Persian kingdom. You understand? He told the so-called black woman what to do. And all of the so-called Jews what to do. When all of the, give me Esther chapter 3 and 5. When all of the Jews came around, they had to bow down before the so-called white man. Well, guess what? You don't have to, but you are doing it right now. You in the spirit, you're doing it right now. Who is he to you? Exactly. So you're bowing down to the so-called white man. Okay, well, where is boyfriend at in the Bible? So what are y'all?
He's my boyfriend.
But is that a biblical concept? So this is fornication with a white man. So it's fornication with a white man. So the white man, you're stand pure. Alright, let's say you're not. Let's show you how you and Esther are the same. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 46.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
Read it again.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So these are the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28 for disobedience. When the Israelites were brought out of Egypt, God told them if they disobey him, they would go through curses. Right? So the curses are used as a sign to identify who these people are based off of prophecies. You understand? Hold on, Michael. You said that she's free to hear the word, right? So let me finish. Right? Read on.
And for a wonder.
And for a wonder to make you think.
And upon thy seed forever.
Read that again.
And upon thy seed forever.
So the curses are going to be upon the Israelites forever. So throughout various captivities, you're going to have the same conditions be shown upon the children of God. From the time of the Persian captivity with Esther, all the way to the time of the Roman captivity with the apostles and Jesus Christ, all the way to this captivity now that we're currently going through, sister. You understand? So we know because Esther was in slavery. She was in captivity. You understand? Under the so-called white man who was puppet running the Persian kingdom. You understand? The same way the so-called white man is running this kingdom. Give me Esther 7 and 4. Then give me Esther chapter 3 and 3. Read that.
This is the book of Esther chapter 7 and verse 4. For we are sold. For we are sold.
So Esther, way back when, she said, for we are sold. Hold on. Let me finish. She's saying that we are sold. Read on.
It says what? I am my people.
What she say?
I am my people. To be destroyed. To be slain. And to perish.
And to what?
And to perish.
And to perish. Who is the people sold to? To the Persians. The Persian Empire. Ahasuerus. Mecumen, different men that ran the Persian Empire. Hold on, let me finish. Hold on, you asked the question. If you have to follow, you gotta let me finish. You can't follow if I'm not done my point. What do we have to say? Yeah, she was in slavery to the so-called white man. No, Persians are not white, but when you study the Persian Empire at this time, a white man was running it through the king. A so-called white man, yes. No, when I say so-called, are you actually a white man? Are you the color white? Yes or no, Michael?
There are different shades of
Are you the color of the top of her shoes right here? The top of her shoes are what? What color's your skin? It ain't no hey. We want to talk to the white man. Well, we want to talk to the white man. We don't need to say hey and be a damn coon and a bad witch for the damn devil, man. There ain't no hey. Don't talk to the white man like that, man. They are the so-called white man. And if you want to stay with the so-called white man, you want to die with the so-called white man. Here we are trying to show you how you and Esther are the same as the people of God without you damn interjecting every time the so-called white man come on the scene, man. Hold on, we can't even finish a thought. We can't even finish our thought without you interrupting. Where's the fruits of the Spirit? Don't y'all have the fruits of the Spirit? Love, peace, joy, meekness, temperance, long suffering. Don't y'all have these things? No, I'm not screaming at people. Let's call the microphone. Let me finish before we take it somewhere we don't have to take. I'm trying to edify you. That's not a so-called black woman. Give me Sirach 6 and 13. Right, give me Obadiah 1 and 18. Right now is that a threat? We're trying to save your life. We're trying to protect you from this damn so-called white man, the school shooter, the murderer on the earth, the rapist of all so-called black women, the destroyer, the man that ran experiments on your foremothers, raped you, killed your men, and you want to tell a so-called black man, reading the Bible, is that a threat, man? You ought to be ashamed of your damn self, man. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. Read that. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 13. Separate thyself from thy enemy. Read it again. Separate thyself from thy enemy. You know what? Separate thyself from thy enemy. We are reading the Bible, but is that a threat? Is that a threat? We're reading the words of God, trying to show you how great you are, but now you should ask, is he a threat, man? The so-called white man is a threat, man. He's the one bombing the earth, man. He's the one that just assassinated another white man publicly, man. Who just killed, what's his name, Charles, who killed Charles Kirk, the so-called white man? Who shot at Donald Trump, the so-called white man? Who's bombing buildings, the so-called white man? And you have the nerve to ask me, reading the Bible, is that a threat, man? You're a hypocrite, man. And you're not going to make it, and we know damn sure, Michael, you're not going to make it, man. You're not going to make it, man. Read it again. Sirach 6 and 13 for the top. Separate thyself from thy enemy. And that's your enemy. If you didn't know, if you read the Bible, you would know that the so-called white man, the Edomites, are the enemies of the Israelites, man. If you knew the people who had Jesus Christ in captivity were the same men as these people, you would separate from that man. Who killed Jesus Christ? Give me Luke 18 and 32. Michael, who killed Jesus Christ? Who killed Jesus Christ? Are the Romans black men or so-called white men? So your people are responsible, man. Luke 18 and 32. Book of Luke chapter 18 and verse 32. For he shall be delivered unto the Gentiles. For he shall be delivered unto the Gentiles. Jesus Christ was delivered to the Roman Empire. The Gentiles. Read. And shall be mocked and spitefully entreated and spitted on. And that shall scourge him and play him to death. What did they do? Play him to death. What did they do to the Lord? Play him to death. The so-called white man is responsible for the murder of Jesus Christ. And yet, your walk, that's your boyfriend. Y'all are ungodly and wicked, man. You're not going to make it, sister. That's who you're walking with, man. And he's just using you as a toy. You're just his sex toy. You're his freak-off toy. That's all you are. He's not going to marry you. He's going to go back to the so-called white woman, man. After he hits his age, he gets that 401k, he gets that inheritance from his father, he's going to go back to the so-called white woman, sister. You're just his experiment, you're just his toy until he decides that he's going to move in this society, man. Once he's in Microsoft damn office, or once he's in these damn buildings or Chase, you're going to be an afterthought, sister. Right, I know it's fine. I know it's fine. Give me Isaiah 6. Give me Isaiah 13 and 9. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. And he made you wear that shirt. That's not in your spirit to wear that, sister. But he dressed you and he got you like that, man. You all jammed up. Read. Look at Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed. My people are destroyed. Every rank. My people are destroyed. Because over the so-called, these are the only people who walk hand in hand with their enemy, man. The Arabs were not accept the so-called white man. They can't accept their religion. They won't accept their philosophies, man. We're the only nation of people who accept the so-called white man and our enemies, man. Here you have the East Indian man waging war against his enemies, man. Right? The Chinese man is going to war against his enemies, man. The Japanese man had a whole imperialist kingdom separating themselves from their enemies, man. The Persians went to war against their enemies, man. But the so-called black woman doesn't even know who a damn enemy is, man. You ought to be damn ashamed of yourself, man. It's a damn shame we up here dealing with you in 2025 and you can't understand that the so-called white man, school shooter, their bomber, murder the earth is your enemy, man. Saving all of the heathen. Look at this, saving all of the heathen, man. Saving all of the heathen. But where the threats, man? Where the threats? She's guiding all of the heathen. Get across the street saying, get there where you need to go. And it says, don't touch my children. That's what they're saying, man. They say, what the hell is this nigga woman trying to touch my damn children, man?
What do you think should happen to them?
Hold on, we're dealing with you. And you want to know what should happen to them? They should go to slavery the same way you should be going into slavery, man. Give me Isaiah. Well, bring your ass up here, man. Come on, take you. Bring your ass up here, man. No, let him be a slave. 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 Give me Jeremiah 30:16. If you want to be taken, bow down, man. Bow down right now, man. Read that, man, because that's your junk. Look at Jeremiah 30:30. No, she don't want him to go to slavery, man. No, let him go to slavery, man. Let him get his judgment. Let him get his judgment. Read it. Jeremiah 30:16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy habits will not much shall be devoured, and all thy habits will not depart. All thy habits, just least all thy adversaries. Everyone, no, not much. Everyone. Until shall go into captivity, shall go into captivity, shall go into captivity. It's a damn shame you going into captivity, Michael, man. I'm gonna chase your ass down, man. And you banned with you and get put to death, man. Give me Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 16, man. It's a damn shame we reading the Bible, trying to patiently deal with you and show you who you are, but now us is at a threat. Are you threatening me, man? Here we are reading the book of Esther. Right? We're reading the book of Esther. Right? But now we're a threat, man. And when that so-called white man had his damn hand on your back, that was a threat, man. What the hell was he could have poured his damn hair down, took a knife out, and stabbed you in the top of your damn neck, man? But they just shot a man, man. They're shooting their own people, public executions, man. If these ain't the days to separate from the so-called white man, I don't know what is, man. Right, give me swag 12 and 10, hold there. Give me the classic, man. We don't trust the so-called white man, man. All these done, what has he done for us to trust him? What's going on, Elder? How you doing, brother? All praise to the Most High. Come. Good to see you, brother.
I'm glad you were talking about captivity. I come out every week. I have questions.
Okay, all praise to the Most High.
Yep. They schooling me in the way to go.
All praises.
Amen. So, wife and I had discussions on captivity.
Okay.
And in particular, Isaiah 13, the 17th verse. Okay. Which talks about the Medes, and my wife was saying, well, Isaiah is a prophecy book talking about captivity that's to come, because it said how the sun was going to be the star earlier in the chapter. It says to me, I know in history that the Israelites were in captivity with Babylonia in earlier ages, and were freed, I guess, by the Medes, and we've been in captivity with different nations, and you were alluding to captivity coming as even though all the way up till today. Yeah. So my question is Isaiah 13 and 17 a future prophecy, or is it past event?
It is a future prophecy.
Okay.
Right, we're going to show you that. Right, read Isaiah. You want to get the context? Read verse 1. Yes. Right, it's the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Right. So let's read Isaiah 13 and 1, and then we'll just jump down. We'll read down. Read that.
So book of Isaiah chapter 13 and verse number 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see.
Yeah, you had an ancient Babylon, right? You had an ancient Neo-Babylonian empire. They ruled from around 626 to around 539 BC. right? So you read about different Babylons. You have a Babylon and you have a Babylon the Great, right? The mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Give me that in Revelation 17:5 real quick. That's the Babylon that we're reading about right here. And give me Isaiah 24:21. Read that.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great.
No, ancient Babylon.
Mystery Babylon the Great.
So you had an old Babylonian empire, right, that was ran by Nimrod and his descendants. And then you had another Babylonian empire, which is the Neo-Babylonian empire, right, that started with Nabopolassar and these different men that ran to around Nabonidus and Belshazzar. And then you have a third Babylon. This is spiritual Babylon, right? So the Most High is telling you about the spiritual place, right? It's called Mystery Babylon the Great. In the book of Isaiah, you also read it being called the daughter of Babylon. Okay, now read that. Give me Isaiah 47:1. Read that. Give me Isaiah 47:1. Read that. No, read on.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
So this is the abominations of the earth. Now the Babylonian Empire, they didn't have influence over the entire earth. They had influence over Mesopotamia, the Levant, and other parts of the Near East. There's another Babylon the Great that God has prophesied about that will have the whole earth full of abominations, that will have influence from a political, religious, sorcery level to the point where all nations, whether you're Chinese or whether you're Canadian or whether you're Polish, it doesn't matter, you're going to be under the influence of America in some form or fashion. That's the Babylon that Isaiah 13 is talking about. And we're going through the precepts to show that before we go back to that chapter. Right, give me Isaiah 47:1.
In the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, and O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Ancient Babylon.
O virgin daughter of Babylon.
O virgin daughter of Babylon. So what's the characteristic of a virgin? They're untouched. Right? They're untouched, they're pure, they're undefiled. You understand? So ancient Babylon wasn't untouched. Ancient Babylon was destroyed. You understand? Cyrus the Great came in 539 BC and the Battle of Opposite took it down. So it was touched. This society has yet to be touched by another nation. You understand? All they had was a civil war. But they have yet to be invaded and taken down. So the characteristics of this other Babylon is an untouched Babylon, a pure Babylon, and they're called the daughter of Babylon. Because all of the philosophies and sorcery and wizardry and ideologies that ancient Babylon had, America does that today. Right? That's why it's called the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. Isaiah 24:21. Isaiah 24:10.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 10. The city of confusion, Babylon, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in.
So this is also called the city of confusion. Babylon goes back to the Hebrew Babel, which means confusion. Right? So this is the land of confusion. You see all of the nations. I'm seeing Moabites, I'm seeing Elamites, I'm seeing Israelites, I'm seeing philosophies, Christians. You got bug outs, cigarette smokers, idolaters. There's nothing but confusion in this land right here, brother. If we took a time machine for 2,500 years ago, we would see the same things. Ezra said he saw impieties in Babylon without number. He saw so many sins that he couldn't even name them. And we can't name all of the sins we see, man. But we'll be here forever trying to name all of the iniquities and all of the transgressions that our people and everybody's committing today, brother. Right now, go back to what you had. You got a point? Psalms 137? Bring it up.
It's Psalms 137 and 7.
Before you read that, give me Zechariah 2 and 6. Right? Zechariah 2 and 6. And then we're going to get there.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 2, and verse number 6. It says, what? Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith the Lord. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven.
The Lord says, spiritually flee from the land of the north. The land of the north is another name for America. Right? So separate from the philosophies, from the politics, from the way of life, from these other nations. Right? Read on, because the Lord scattered us abroad. Read.
Saith the Lord, verse 7. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon.
We dwell with ancient Babylon.
The daughter of Babylon.
The children of Zion, the Israelites, God is saying we have to deliver ourselves by calling upon Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, by repenting and keeping the commandments, and we dwell with the daughter of Babylon. Not ancient Babylon, there's a prophecy we're dwelling with the daughter of Babylon. Give me Ezekiel 16 and 44. Right? So it makes sense, Elder. Right? Read it.
Okay, Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 44. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is the daughter.
The Lord says,
so is the daughter.
as is the mother, so is the daughter. Right? Whatever spirit the mother's going to be in is going to influence, right, the daughter's mind and how her behavior is going to be. So America is the daughter of Babylon. Where did they get their influence from? From ancient Babylon. Right? All their magi, their sorcerers, their wizards, their warlocks, they haven't created that on their own, brother. Right? They got that ideology from ancient Babylon, brother. And many other things they got from ancient Babylon. So Isaiah, go back to Psalms 137. Right, we're going to read that, then we're going to go back to Isaiah 13. Read that.
This is Psalms 137 and verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
So the Romans came and destroyed Jerusalem. Right? They came in the time of the Babylonian Empire and burnt the temple down. Then they came in 70 AD and burnt down the entire city and destroyed, raped, robbed, and murdered all of the Israelites, or many of them. Read on.
O daughter of Babylon!
The Edomite.
O daughter of Babylon!
Now the daughter of Babylon are being called the Edomites. You see that? So the so-called white man, they are also Babylonians, but they're the offshoot spiritually of the ancient Babylonians. Read on.
Who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us.
So we're going to be happy to pay them back. Now go back to Isaiah 13. It makes sense, Elder? Right? Precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Right? So a lot of people think Babylon is Rome, or they think it's the 7 churches of the Vatican. All of this madness, brother. But you're dwelling in Babylon the Great right now. So that's the burden that Isaiah saw. Right? Read it from the top, Isaiah 13 and 1.
Okay, Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exhort the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
And you know in the book of Jeremiah, give me Jeremiah 25 and 11. The Lord never told us in ancient Babylon to shake the hand and go to the gates of the nobles. The Lord said, put your neck under their yoke and serve the king of Babylon these 70 years. And then he's going to free us out of that ancient Babylonian captivity. So this is a new Babylon, where we're being told by God, instructed to raise up this truth and shake the hand, meaning prophesy the downfall of America and the downfall of the Edomites, to the point where we raise so much hell that the police come out, the mayors come out. We want Trump to come out, man. We want the elites to come out, man, right? And pop up and damn do something about it, man. But they can't do a damn thing about it, right? So that's what the Lord is saying. Jeremiah 25 and 11.
Because Jeremiah chapter 25 verse 11. And this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment. And these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. How long? 70 years.
We were told to serve, to submit. The Lord said, go build ye houses, dwell in them, take you wives, and marry them. Right? In the book of Jeremiah, plant you vineyards. So we were told to do something different in that Babylon, and we're told to do something different in this Babylon. Makes sense? So we know that this is a future prophecy. Right? So read on in Isaiah 13.
Isaiah 13, verse number 3. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness.
Oh, I got the elect, he got the angels. Read on.
It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
God is raising up armies to destroy America. Right? Read on. Now, in the Medes, you didn't have a plethora of armies that destroyed the Medes, brother. Right? There's only one nation that took down the Median Empire. Right? And that was chiefly the Persians. Cyrus the Great took down the Persian Empire around 552 BC, brother. Right? He took down Astyages, and he took them down, and he put them in slavery, brother. You didn't have all these different nations, the Hittite Empire, the Israelites, the Egyptians, that all took down the ancient Medes. The Persians are responsible for rising up and overthrowing that Median Empire. You understand? Okay, read on.
It says, verse number 5, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation.
So the weapons of his indignation are the missiles. And they're coming from a far country. Now, Persia ain't far from the Medes, brother. It's not far. Right? They're right next to each other. It was actually a province within the Median Empire. So everything about this chapter, when you line it up with history, it can't be ancient Babylon. When you really break it down line upon line. Okay? Read on.
It says, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
Now jump to verse 15, go read 15 through 17.
Verse number 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. The Lord says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
You're found hand in hand, right? Like the so-called black woman was with the so-called white man. She's going to be thrust through by the angels, right? She's going to be killed and put to death. Read on.
And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
Fall by the sword. Read.
Verse 16. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes.
Their children are going to be destroyed before their eyes. They're going to see it. Read.
Their houses shall be spoiled.
What?
Their houses shall be spoiled.
You know what?
And their wives ravished.
And we know what that means. So we're going to rifle their houses and ravish their wives. Right? That didn't happen in ancient Babylon. The Lord didn't stir up Zerubbabel and Joshua to ravish the wives of the ancient Medes and Babylonians. Right? He didn't stir up and then he said, Ezra, finish the job. Right? Nehemiah said, I got more ravishing I got to do. Right? And he was weeping because he didn't get to doing that ravishing. Right? All of our fathers who went back to Jerusalem out the Median and Persian and Babylonian Empire, they went back to build. Right? They went back to lay the foundation, build the temple, instruct the law, and build the walls. But they never were sent to ravish the wives and to destroy them, and they didn't come from a far country. So these are all prophetic events that are going to happen that historically never happened. Right? Read on.
Verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
So the other nations in ancient warfare, give me Sirach 10 and 6. I believe that's what I want. Right? Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. Shalom, kings. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. So God is saying that this people that take them down, they're not going to take your goods. They're not going to take your treasures. They're not going to take your riches. But in ancient warfare, that's what they did do, brother. They did take your riches. They did take your land. But this, when the Russians, that's what we're talking about, when they take the society down, they're not looking to take the US dollar, amalgamate it into their society. They're not looking to conquer the US Mint, the US Treasury, their digital currency, Bitcoin. They want nothing of that. They want the Most High has a spirit on Russia and their allies to utterly destroy America, brother. That's what God is saying. Now that's not how war went in the ancient world. Give me that in Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10. Read that.
The book of Sirach to the 10 of verse 6. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practice. Pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doeth one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealing. Because of what? Because of unrighteous dealing.
Because of sin, right, read.
Injuries and riches got by deceit.
Because of sin, rape, robbery, and murder, and theft. What happened?
The kingdom is translated from one people to another.
So the kingdoms translate from one people to another, brother. That's what you call annexing, right? When the Babylonian Empire came on the scene, they didn't just materialize, brother. They took over the empire that ruled before them. They took down the entire land of the Assyrian Empire. So when you study the Assyrian Empire and their geography and their boundaries, it's the exact same thing as what the Babylonians, brother. When the Persians came on the scene and they took down the Babylonians, they not only took over their kingdom from a boundary standpoint, but they expanded it, brother. Right? And then when the Greeks came on the scene, their boundaries are identical to that of the Persian Empire. So other nations, when they took them down, they had an interest in taking their wealth, enslaving their women, destroying their priests, destroying their royal class, and taking over their boundaries. This prophecy says that these nations that are set up to destroy this new Babylon, they don't care about none of that, brother. They just want blood and war and destruction. You understand? So these events also indicate that this is a future prophecy, not something that happened in time past. Right? So read on in Isaiah 13 where you left off.
Verse number 18. Their bones also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. What? Their eyes shall not spare children.
Go ahead, brother.
We skipped 17. Did we skip?
Did we read 17? You read 17.
Want me to reread it about the Medes?
Yeah, let's read it again. Let's read it again.
Verse 17 from the top. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them.
I'm going to stir up the Medes against the Babylonians. Now, historically, who took down the ancient Babylonian Empire?
It was the Persian Medes. The Persian Medes. together.
So you had the Medo-Persian Empire, right? Now, the Persians actually rose up and took down the Medes, right? So somebody pull up the Battle of Opis in 539 BC, right? Give me Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 28, right? So read that.
So what you just said was a past event.
Right, it was a past event. What we're going to, the Medes that the Lord is stirring up is a modern day country, brother. So when you look at the boundaries geographically of the Median Empire, we got maps. Got a map on that side? Right, well, I'll make the point, most I will. No, your map is a little too small. That's just Israel and Judah. That's all right, brother. Right, but you see where Japheth is in Asia? Right? These are the boundaries of Russia now. Those are the ancient boundaries of the Medes. So there are times prophetically where the Lord uses ancient nations by their name, but he's talking about a modern day kingdom. You understand? It's not always talking about the ancient Medes. Just like we read in Babylon, it's not always talking about ancient Babylon. Babylon, because Babylon is what? Modern day Iraq. You understand? Iraq is not significant in the world of prophecy, right? But America is. So just because the Most High uses the names, it's up to us through the Spirit to discern where those lands are based off of the prophecies in the Bible. It makes sense? Right, like the brother said, like Gog and Magog in Ezekiel 38 chapter. Right, Gog and Magog are Japhetic men, or Japhetic lands, if you will. Right? Now, but prophetically, they're talking about the Russians. You understand? But yet it says Gog and Magog. That's why you have a lot of people who think that the Japhites are so-called white people, brother. They think that they're Edomites, right? So let's go back to where we were at. Read that. I want 44 and 28.
Book of Isaiah chapter 44 verse 28. Bring it out. But that saith of Cyrus. That saith of Cyrus.
There's a man named Cyrus who came on the scene, brother. Right, read on.
He is my shepherd and shall perform all my pleasure. Even saying to Jerusalem, thou shalt be built. Thou shalt be built. What did he say? Thou shalt be built.
He told the Jews that you can go back and build. In 539 BC, Zerubbabel and Joshua, thou shalt be built. Read on.
And to the temple, thy foundation shall be laid.
He said, y'all have the authority to lay the foundation. The Persian Empire was a tolerant kingdom, and they allowed different nationalities that they conquered to worship their own gods, brother. Now, go back to, give me that in the Battle of Opis. Who got the history? Read that.
It's the Battle of Opis. Was the last major military engagement. Was the last major military engagement between the Achaemenid Empire and the Neo-Babylonian Empire.
Between the Achaemenid Empire, meaning the Persian Empire, and the Neo-Babylonian Empire. So, really, historically, the Medes were on the back burner at this time, brother. They didn't have any power, right? They didn't have power, and historically, they didn't take down the Babylonians, brother. But there's a future Medes. There's a future Median Empire that's going to take down a future Babylonian Empire. A little bit more on that.
Which took place in September 539 BC during the Persian invasion of Mesopotamia.
During the Median invasion.
During the Persian invasion of Mesopotamia.
During the Persian invasion of Mesopotamia, brother. So by that time, Astyages, the Medes, Cyaxares, all those different men, they were already destroyed, brother. Right? And the Persians had the high power. That's why the prophecy says what in Daniel 7? Give me Daniel 7 and 5. It says the bear raised up itself on what? On one side. Because the Persians were responsible for the power that that empire had. All right, read that.
Book of Daniel chapter 7 and verse 5. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear.
A what?
A bear.
A second beast. This is a second empire. You read about 4 beasts in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter. You read about the Neo-Babylonian Empire, right? Then you read about the Medo-Persian Empire being a bear. Then you read about the Greek Empire being a leopard with 4 heads and 4 wings. And then you read about a 4th empire, which you read about in 2nd Ezra 11 and 12, which is the eagle. So right now we're reading about the Medo-Persian Empire. That's the bear. Read on.
It says, what? A second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side.
That never happened.
On one side.
So it raised up itself on one side. That's historically speaking about how the Persians rose up and took down the Medes, brother. Right? They took their king captive and they became the power. So Isaiah 13 is saying that the ancient Medes, if you were to look at that from that perspective, would take down the Babylonians, but that never happens, brother. It's totally against all prophecy. Right? So the bear raised up itself on one side.
And it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it.
It had 3 ribs, so it had different carcasses of nations that it took over. It took down the Lydian Empire, brother, in the siege of Sardis, right, in the Battle of Thymbra around 545 BC, brother. Then it took down the Babylonians in the Battle of Opis around 539 BC, brother. And it took down the Egyptians at the Battle of Pelusium, brother, at 525 BC by Cambyses II. Those are the 3 ribs in the mouth of the bear. Right, read on.
It says, in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it, and they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh.
So the Persians devoured much flesh. They devoured much men and took down these different nations. Right. So when you go through these prophecies, you see how Isaiah 13 is not talking about the ancient Median Empire, but it's a futuristic Median Empire. Right? Give me Revelation 11 and 8. That's where you have nations that are spiritually called certain places. All right, read that.
Book of Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually, this great city is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
So America is spiritually called Sodom. Why is it called Sodom? Because all of the homosexuals, brother. All of the dykeism, the lesbianism, the faggotology, brother. Right? All of the faggotism and the madness. All these things are happening in damn Detroit, man. All over the earth, brother. So that's why America is spiritually called Sodom. Right? And guess what? It's also called spiritual Egypt. Why? Because of the captivity of the children of Israel, brother. So there are spiritual names that are attached to places that help us identify what the prophecies are going to be. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Okay, I'll praise to the Most High. Right? I'll praise to the Most High. Right? That's it. God. So what other questions you got, Elder? That's a good question. Never know what you got to get into out here. Okay.
Much knowledge and understanding from you guys. So, I've been coming out and we've been talking about how we're going to have servants, how Israelites will have servants in the kingdom.
Right, we're going to have servants in the kingdom.
So, if you will, can you give me a play-by-play from what do you call it when the Lord shall descend and the dead?
Yeah, you're talking about the resurrection, right?
Right. Which Christians call the rapture.
Right, they call it the rapture.
Right. So from the rapture to having spiritual bodies in heaven. So I don't know if that's a long period of time, and if a lot of events is going to happen, but just the main points, especially where we're going to have servants in the kingdom. I don't know if I'm getting this kingdom confused with the kingdom of heaven, where we have spiritual bodies, and heaven is supposed to be a perfect place. How can you have, servants of that nature serving us when everybody's supposed to be serving the Most High God?
Okay, so I'll get a few, brother. Let's start from the resurrection up to the nations being in slavery. But the nations, they're not going to have spiritual bodies. They're not going to have spiritual bodies. I'll be damned, man. Right. They beat a Moabite who kind of just look at you, man. Yeah, keep doing that, man. The hell is, brother, we'll be pissed, man. Yeah, right. You beating the nation, they smiling, man. Right? I don't feel that, man. Right, give me 1 Thessalonians 4:13. We're going to read 13 through 17. 1 Corinthians 15 to 57. And then we're going to read the book of, let's get Psalms 149 and 5, but then I'll pass it into the next speaker could build on these prophetic precepts we're going into. Okay, give me 1 Thessalonians 4:13.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope.
The Lord told the church of Thessalonica, don't trip, don't sweat, don't get depressed about the men who fell asleep and had died in the truth. Right? They were worried what's going to happen to them. Are they going to be destroyed? Where are they going to go? Paul said, don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Read on.
For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will God bring with him.
People that died in the truth, you read about in Revelation 20, John the Revelator said he saw the souls of them that beheaded for the word of God and for the witness of his testimony, which did not worship the beast, nor his image, nor receive the mark in their foreheads or in their right hands. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach Yahushua 1,000 years. So there are men that are going to die, but they don't actually die, they just fall asleep. Why do they fall asleep? Because they are set up to be awakened in the day of the Lord Yahushua. right? The only people that died are so-called white men. The Moabites, the Japhites, the Hamites, they actually died, brother. The men of the Most High don't die.
Right.
Right? We fall asleep just to be awakened at the sound of the trump.
Right.
Read on.
Verse 15. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Yahweh, and the dead and Hamashiach shall rise first.
So men that died in the truth, they're going to be raised up first. Right? In the day, in the last hour, brother, they're going to raise up first. And you're going to see that if we're part of that number, brother.
Right.
Right? No matter, you might be in a wilderness somewhere, brother. Right? You might be escaping from a FEMA camp, man. Right? You might be living in a mansion somewhere. The Most High is feeding you, brother. And all of a sudden, you're going to see these signs that are going to transpire, brother.
Right.
Right? We don't.
Verse 17. Then we which are alive, the Lord said, then we which are alive,
Read it again.
then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord.
Shall we ever be with the Lord? Read on. Wherefore what?
Wherefore comfort one another with these words.
We comfort one another. The word of rapture literally goes back to the word rape. It means to seize. So they call it a rapture because they're being seized from the earth, brother. Right? I don't want to, hey, we're not going to use that word, brother. That goes back to rapere, which is a Latin infinitive, which means to seize, to grab up, brother. Right? But the concept of rapture is, you know, you're left behind, and you got the great tribulation, and you got 3.5 years to get right, and people got to send it up in all these clothes all on the floor, and you try to figure out what happened. That's not in the Bible, brother. Right? That's not in the Bible, brother. Right? That's Christianity. Right? So the elect are going to be raised up after those who died in the Lord are going to be raised up. And they're going to receive spiritual bodies in that moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at that same last trump. 1 Corinthians 15 and 52. Read that.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 52.
In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump.
At the what?
At the last trump.
That's the same trump we read in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Read.
For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
And this what?
And this mortal must put on immortality.
And this mortal must put on immortality. Right? So then, once we put on the immortal bodies, we're going to come down from heaven, brother. And once we come down from the heavens, we're going to enslave the other nations. Right? And the brother Yaradan, right, he's going to go into how we're going to enslave the other nations and add them to your precepts. Come here, Charlotte. Come here, Charlotte. Come here, Charlotte.